Morning. It's Thursday, January 12th, 2012. I can't. It's stupid. We gotta stop filming here. This roof leaks. It's been raining yesterday. It's done now, but there's still water coming down from the upstairs where it's soaked into the insulation. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the bumper, I have to wait 24 hours, so it's not going to be ready to paint till midnight, so I'm going to just do that tomorrow morning. Yeah, that way I can do it outside and I won't fill the house full of fumes. I'm going to look for steel stock. We have a junkyard right across the street. If I can give George a diagram, send him over, I'll go over with him. He supposedly gets discounts because he lives across the street and they want to keep the peace or whatever, according to him. It remains to be seen. And maybe they have some tubing stock that I can use for this project. So we're going to go check that out. And the steel guy we stopped at yesterday never called me back. Nobody ever calls me back. It's ridiculous. And then there's another used steel place down the street. I can stop up there. That guy works at a normal job though, so he may not be there till the evening. So we'll see what happens. We've been to 3 places so far looking for that steel. There is none. Okay, we're up at the storage garage. I grabbed the trailer hitch. I'm going to cut this up actually. We bought some steel to make a custom hitch. So I used some parts off of this one and use that and weld that other piece to the bottom of it. I had to stop at Kroger's. George is getting Mariana some medicine again. I'm pretty psyched now because I have something to work with on this trailer hitch. So hopefully within the next couple of days I'll get this trailer hitch completed and pull that trailer out, and then I'll be, I just have to work on some fiberglass on the 6 holes on the roof of it from screws from the rack, or else I'll rebuild the rack and I'll be ready to rock and roll to Florida. Of course there's no roof on this truck. I don't know if I'll have a roof, but I don't need to have the roof on there to go to Florida and pick up all that crap. I just dropped George back off at the house. I'm going back up to the forge here. In the back there's this guy who does welding and machine shop work. I get a price on welding this all together if I cut all these pieces out. Maybe you can weld all that stuff together. Make it a lot simpler. It'll save on the bolts, and so I'll only need 4 bolts if that happens. But well, the guy I went to, he said he has a pacemaker, so he doesn't do welding anymore. He hasn't for about 10 years. Then he had the other guy that was right next door to him. Said he would do it, but he's going to charge like $100. So it's probably worth getting my welder going and doing it myself. So if I gotta spend the money, I might as well spend it on something where I only have to do it once, and then I'll have welding capability again. You can see my basic plan here. I'm going to have these as the base, and the bumper part that I have in the basement will go over the top of this. This is exactly the right size. This is already exactly the right length. I'm going to test it downstairs pretty soon. And the bumper will drop right down on top of this and bolt on with 4 bolts that'll come right in there, so that'll hold the bumper on, which should be plenty. Maybe I'll put a little strip up above it even. Underneath will be the solid part of this hitch, I'm going to cut these two end parts off. And the solid part of this hitch will be on the bottom of that. And it'll have 5-inch pieces of this leftover scrap that they forced me to buy. I'll get 5 inches out of that, no problem. And butt weld it to this for leverage. And then I'll weld that to the bottom of this here. So it'll be pretty sturdy. Yeah, looking at this, maybe I'll do this an entirely different way even beyond that. I could actually just trim the tops of these corner pieces off so that they're flat, and then I'll trim it off so that it's only sticking out 5 inches beyond, and then I'll only need two butt pieces on there, which would be even better. Then I could have that just welded, or I'll weld it myself right to this bar. I'll just trim it down so it's even with the other part of this. See, that'll work. That'll work. Then I can always reinforce it later with this other crap if I need to, and it'll have two supports anyway for leverage. I don't see anywhere down here in the basement where I can plug into a 220 line. He said he used to have a wow, there's leaking over there. Maybe one of his pipes froze or something broke. Anyway, he said he used to have a hookup for a dryer down here. If I could find the, I'll have to wait till he wakes up because he's conked off. Anyway, you can see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to have this frame underneath the skin for this. Then I'm going to cut the ends of that off, which I'm doing right now, and weld that part to one of these. And then I'm going to weld 4 or 5 inch pieces, which will butt to the end of the other one here. Which will put together the square, so it'll all be together. I can weld the two. I'll make 2 7.5 inch pieces for the ends, and maybe, and then the whole thing will be locked into a square. Okay, I got to cut this one to 16 on each side, making 32. I need 2 7.5 inch pieces and 2 5 inch pieces, or 4 5 inch pieces. I'm going to go dig up my welder, and I got to get a skill saw with a steel cutting blade. I don't know what else I can do. I'll think about it as I go. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find my welder and other stuff in here. My saw, 1/2 inch drill bit, stuff like that. Doing good so far. I dug out my AC/DC industrial arc welder, a impact drill, 6011 rods, thread cutting oil. I found the insert I need for that trailer hitch, but I need the pin that goes in it. I haven't found that yet. I also found my long lost jack stand I've been looking for. It was buried. I got a 1/2 inch drill bit, brand new. So I can drill all this stuff. Still need to dig out a skill saw. I'm going to probably have to go buy a blade for it. Well, now it's really getting good. I found some anti-seize lubricant. I found a skill saw metal blade, which is what I need to cut that metal with. And I got my skill saw. Really hate using a halfway decent skill saw, but at least I'm not having to use my quarter cable. And I also grabbed a hacksaw in case I want to do this the old-fashioned way at any point. I'm going to drop all this stuff back at the house, and then I'm going to probably go up to Lowe's. I got to get one of them yellow crayons. Let's talk to George and find out where that 220 line is, and I have to get a plug for this welder that fits whatever that 220 line is. And I also have to price out a welding helmet. I don't have any welding helmets here. I think they're all in Pennsylvania or Florida. Okay, down to the nitty-gritty. Now I'm going to cut up all these parts so that they have the right size to them. And then it's a matter of getting my welder going, welding them, and drilling them. I can pre-drill some of this stuff. I'm not even done 2 cuts. I almost got this cut. I got hit the last little bit with a hacksaw. That cut, I got 2 parts of it, but my saw blade's worn itself down to almost nothing. I have to go get another saw blade now. Yeah, there she sits. Just leaving Lowe's. I got some more, 2 more cutting blades. I don't know if that'll be enough. Hopefully. It's hard to believe this burned out to that degree. You can see it. Here's a new one. This other one, you can see how small it is compared to it. And this one was new just before those 2 cuts, and I'm not even done the 2 cuts yet. This time I got an extended life one, so I don't know what that other one was. They just had it laying around the garage, so hopefully this. Alright, ready to rock. I'm gonna cut off this. There's like a little teeny bit you can see in there that I can't get with the saw blade won't reach. So I'll cut that little piece off with a hacksaw, and I'll clean up the ends of this. Should be pretty close to 36 inches. Cool. I didn't have to hacksaw that last little bit at all. I broke them off on both sides. So I'm just gonna square that all off with the grinder. I'm not going to do the grinding right yet. I'm going to put this aside. I'll do all the grinding at once. Same with this side. It's somewhat flat. There's really not that much trim work. But I'll grind it. Maybe I'll get the Dremel tool and clean up the inside of it too tomorrow. Yeah, I'm looking at these, and these are actually sitting lower than the edge of this by about a 1/8 of an inch or so. So what I'm going to have to do is notch the back of this bumper for to accommodate the brackets going in, because it would either be that or shim it up, which I don't think I want to do. Now what I got to do is mark these and cut out 4 5 inches and 2 7.5 inches out of what's left of this scrap. Well, I melted my saw to the point where it doesn't cut straight anymore. It's just great. Anyway, this is bigger than it needs to be, so I'll just put them all on there. And I'll just grind them down where they gotta go. Okay, I wrapped that up. Broke into a downpour, and my welding rods, my tools, you can see how wet my drill got, and my welder got wet. I have to let that stuff dry out. Hopefully the welding rods aren't wrecked now. Well, I'm burnt out and beat tonight, so I'm gonna get some sleep. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a good night.